Hello everyone, this is Babamots with another Homeworlds game replay review, and I'm joined this time by one of the players, Stevie. Do you want to say hi?
Hi, my name is Stevie. I'm one of the players.
This is Stevie Sasquatchy versus Amnican, and Stevie recommended this game, claims that it's interesting. I will, we'll see about that. I bet it's very interesting. Stevie's been playing for a long time. Stevie's performed really well in the tournaments, and he's a strong and wily player. He's fond of the small universe games. And Amnican started playing more recently. He's been featured quite a few times on the channel already. Amnican is a very strong player, especially considering that they picked up the game only this year, I believe. Um, of the two, I don't know who I would have bet on, although I do happen to know the result of this game because we've discussed it already. Stevie and
Yeah.
I have discussed it. Anything you want to say about the game before we start?
That I'm not claiming that this game is the most interesting of games. I think it is because I played it, but I mostly want to hear about your take on some of the moves and what you would have done in some of the situations because I really value your ability and your play style.
Okay, well I'll maybe at key points I'll make predictions and then you can give thoughts and we'll see what actually happened.
This is the
Okay.
point of the tournament where I've been able to succeed a few rounds. Then I knew I was heading up against a really difficult opponent, but I was happy to see that I was going to go
Oh yeah, so this is from round 3 or 4 of the tournament?
four. This is
This is
at least
round
four.
so this is round 4 or
Yeah,
more.
I think it's four. So yeah, I've had 3 rounds that I felt that I wasn't. There was one round that it was kind of questionable, but this is the one where I knew it might get interesting.
Okay. I'm going to cheat real quick here. I'm going to actually look up when this happened. Okay, so this was round 4 and you were both undefeated going into round 4.
That's true.
Okay, very good. All right, well, so you are moving first. Let's see your homeworld choice. Ah, yes, you're fond of the double medium red blue home. And
I've been really having fun with it.
okay, and Amnican also picks double medium. So there's no getting away from each other. You're anytime that either of you moves out from your homeworld, you'll be in a system connected to the opposing homeworld.
We are in each other's face pretty quickly.
Yeah. Okay, well, so I'm going to try something that could get annoying later in the game if I do it too much, but I'm going to actually click on things to make a prediction.
Oh
So
wow.
I'm going to click on your ship and predict that you build. Aha, and it worked.
Mhm.
So that will not work unless that is actually the move made in the game.
I like that.
So
That's a
that's
great
that's
option.
that's a firm way to make a prediction.
Yeah, this
Um,
is great.
okay,
I think that was a
Amnican,
safe decision.
I thought that was a pretty safe guess. Okay, my guess here is that you will not build again immediately. My guess is you trade for yellow. Yep.
Absolutely. That makes my homeworld happy as it has one
Okay.
of each color. And
Mm-hmm.
I presume you would guess
Yeah,
which
you are. It makes sense to me to try to push yellow as the color that is going to get fought over early, since one of your advantages here is that you do not have yellow as a star in your homeworld, so you're better set up to compete for the yellows.
and I think that's the main main choice of going with the red blue beginning is that you anticipate fighting and getting a lot of yellow ships. I
It
know
leaves you
that
the room for
Amnican
yellow. Yeah.
uses I do a little bit of, like I know Amnican's conversations about his what he believes, and I knew doing a little homework that Amnican was he favors getting domination in red. That is
Hmm.
his go-to, and I knew that going into the game.
Okay. Well, he may be well set up to dominate the red since you've got that red home star, and you've taken a turn toward the yellow. Let's see if Amnikin goes for red. No,
And
they.
I choose mediums somewhat for that reason. So it's not completely already starting a fast track
Mhm,
for I prefer mediums. I've seen Amnikin picking recently double larges, which I used to do because I wanted to slow down that track as much as possible,
mhm.
But the problem is you can't be an investor in that case.
It makes it more difficult. Yes, you can't
You
set
can't
up
move
investments
and
straight out of your home world. Yep.
invest into
Mm-hmm.
larges. Yeah.
Yep.
So
And
those are
a double small homeworld just seems like asking for trouble because you're accelerating two economies where
right.
you'll have a disadvantage.
Unless you're really trying to accelerate those economies for your own sake for
You
some
know,
reason.
yeah, I don't think I've ever tried double small, or if I have, I must have been goofing around.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Amnikin joins you in the yellow economy.
Keeps me from progressing quickly in
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah,
Totally sensible.
I bet you build green again. Yeah.
Yeah. Very sensible.
Okay. Trouble with my making predictions like that is it kind of glitches out the replay slightly, where it says no more comments, and then it goes to this updating game situation thing. So maybe I'll only do that when it's a really exciting position. Okay.
And we
And
believe you when you say it, that you didn't edit it after in post.
oh no, no, I wouldn't do that. It's no reason for that. Okay. So Amnigan also builds small green. So this isn't an unusual position. This is
What do you
something.
think?
You're mirroring so far. This is pretty common. I think I would probably turn toward red next, or might try to be sneaky and move my small green to a small yellow system to accelerate the yellows. There are several interesting and not bad options here. Do you have strong feelings about anything here?
Well, I would caution about moving to a small yellow because then he would immediately grab the yellow two, which is very prized in a Gemini system because you want to have that bullet, in that gun to be able to send
Mm-hmm.
that sacrifice that two to get over there and like
Yes.
really mess with another person. So I'm always looking to get that yellow two before they do, so that they can't push and have three of any color at their home.
Right. Um, if we take that small yellow out of the bank by discovering it as a star, they build a yellow two, but then you build a yellow two right away,
And yeah, that's
and
true.
then
But then
they'll
they
get
can get out.
yeah. It works out about even as far as I can tell from there. Um, I don't
Well,
know.
if they
It's
moved out first, then they would have access to yeah, you're right, because they've got the yellow star. That's
mhm.
true. That's a good point.
But they won't be able to shopping spree for all of them or anything.
Mhm. But my yellows would be all together at one system close to them. No, no, no. No, I'd still have them on my home world. Sorry about that. I was thinking I moved the yellow out. No. This is not where I go.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's probably as deep down the rabbit hole as we need to go.
Mhm.
So that's not what you're going to choose. You went with my first idea of trading into red.
Especially knowing that Amnikin loves to dominate in
Hmm.
red, I knew I did not
Yeah,
want to be left out in the economy.
and I bet Amnikin does the same.
Yes, I would imagine I anticipated him doing the same.
Not surprising. Now from here, I would probably build a small green,
Right? And then I can
but
balance. Yeah.
um, I wonder if you might prefer to move one of your ships out, the red in particular, um, to keep from having two reds in the same system, and
Because if he starts
I
pushing
don't know.
red, hmm,
I have a I have observed in myself a habit of leaving too many ships at my home for too long.
yeah,
Um,
that's my concern as well.
mhm. And so I think it might be wise to move the red out to say a green system to
What size? Yeah, what size would you pick?
you say that as though this is a crucial choice. So I recently lost a game because ultimately it turned out to be it hinged on what I thought was a trivial decision at the time about what size to move to. And then
Exactly.
later on, it turned out I would have won if I'd moved to a small star instead of a large, in a fairly similar position.
And I want to keep the large out of the bank from an opponent. I want to control that star.
Well, okay, yeah, be in control of the large green star.
That
You
would be
may
my
you
knee-jerk
might
reaction.
you might get a chance to build that later. Green is the hardest color to invest in, though, since you have to have a medium green at a large green star in order to build it,
So
and you
yeah,
have to
what
have
I'll
quite
be,
a bit
I'll
of
be, I'll
green
be
around and spread out in order to do that safely.
mhm.
So large green investments don't aren't usually high on my list of things to consider. But it sounds like that's what you're going to do. I'm
Yeah,
gonna look.
yeah. Let's take
Yeah,
a look.
large
So
green.
that's my idea is like to
Mm-hmm.
take control of the large green so that if it becomes a fighting over a resource as an investment, I've
Mm-hmm.
already got a red, ship there, can capture any of his small ships that might try to
Mm-hmm.
show up there.
Sure.
And I didn't want to start taking away. See, if I went to a small green and he built a small green, then I would be taking the last of the smalls in the bank
Mm-hmm.
if I grew another green,
Right.
right?
It's
And then
true.
I would have that tricky situation. And since I can only go to large or small, and I want to continue to be able to build red while he's might be trying to run away and try to build more red, and I don't want to be at home with too much red in my system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is
That's
this is my thoughts when I
okay.
went there.
Yeah. Um, fair enough. I think moving the red out is makes good sense. Um, I am less concerned than you about letting my opponent build the medium first when I know that I'm going to be able to build a medium immediately after that.
That's true.
And they would not have been able to build a second medium because at that point they would have been overcrowded. Um,
Yes.
and so from there somebody can trade to plug up the bank and who knows what happens.
Yeah.
But
And I would be close to being overcrowded
so
as
I think
well.
it's
So we both
mhm,
have a move
right.
to get out before we would take. So yeah,
Anyway, I think
we might have been able. Yeah.
the choice of small or large star there I think is not super important.
Okay.
I think, but we'll see. We'll see what
Well,
happens.
we shall see.
We shall see. Okay, so Amnikin takes the small green.
So at this point, I think, great. This is exactly what I want. I've moved my red out. So if he takes the last red, I get the second, size
Mm-hmm.
mediums,
So,
and I'm protecting my outpost, if you will. I'm
mm-hmm.
positioned so if he started growing at home, I could have then sacrificed the yellow to send it in to
Mm-hmm.
try to catastrophe. So that was my thoughts at this point.
Yep. Okay. Um, looks good. I bet you build a small green. Yep.
Yes.
All right. Not too surprising. Does Amnikin do the same? I know I would. Well, I don't know if I would. I think building small green here is just fine, for the reasons that we just talked about. That sure
Yeah.
he would be letting you get the first medium green, but then he can get a medium green right after. Yeah, and he's not scared of that. I think you should build the medium green. So will they.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what would you do
Mm-hmm.
in my case here?
Um, I don't think there are a lot of bad moves. I think you've got a lot of things that are just fine. Um, I would consider getting into the blue, either by trading the medium or small green, or possibly more likely, I think, yeah, in the end, I think I would decide that it was important to defend my little red, and I think I'm going to move the medium green to alti. Otherwise, Amnikin moves in the medium green, threatening to capture the little red.
That's very wise of you,
And that's I don't like green ship at green star, but
right? And
because that's a
what
oh, okay, sorry, I clicked it. That's not
that's
what you're
okay.
looking. Okay.
But I do want to follow up on your thoughts there. If moving the green two to alti, and then as the opponent to that, I would think to send a small green out to alti,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where I
Yeah.
can threaten to build and catastrophe the whole system
Sure. Yep.
and destroy your
Mm-hmm.
median green.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to follow this train of thought a little bit. Had you done that, and I followed up with moving a small green there,
Mm-hmm.
would you capture the small green?
Ooh. Uh, no, I don't think I would.
What would you do then? Because the other way around, they could catastrophe the whole system.
Since it's a position that we can't see on the board, and so while I think we could talk about this offline, but since the viewers
Okay.
can't see this and possibly are
Hard
not
to visualize.
visualizing it quite right, um, should probably
This is
save that for another time. But yeah, the starting to shove greens into alti is exciting, since so many of the ships are green.
yeah.
The green is the color of ships that you'd fight in for a sort of invasion of alti and for a defensive alti, but since the star is green, that very quickly gets you into overpopulation issues.
So I like your thought because it definitely protects against um, that idea of the green coming in, but it's interesting on like how it would ultimately play out. Um, and of course, I'm my intention, my want is to get that yellow too. So now that I have a loaded
Mm-hmm.
bullet with my small green to
Yep.
threaten the greens at their home, and if they
Mm-hmm.
build another yellow, I can blow up their sacrifice the yellow to take out their yellow star.
Yep.
This is what I my knee jerk reaction to, but this
Mm-hmm.
is where I think um Amnikin's style might have like I wasn't foreseeing that consideration of what Amnikin would do. I mean, he has to deal with the three greens. I knew that would
Mm-hmm.
have to occur. So you think he will do what?
Okay, well, I'm going to verify that you commit to this move. Yes, you did.
I
Um,
did.
so what does Amnikin do with this? Trouble is Amnikin's a better player than me, so who knows?
We think
Um,
that when we play people.
I
So
think if
they
I'm
all make
Amnikin,
mistakes. We all make mistakes.
I think
I've seen Amnikin make mistakes, but not as many.
mm-hmm,
He does really well in this game, I think.
yeah. Um, a few things to consider. I think Amnikin should be concerned that you will invade Bleb with the Y2. I think if I'm Amnikin, I'm considering something even a little wild, like sacrificing the G2 to build two reds in Bleb, so you've got a medium for the defense And even though you could sacrifice Y1 to move in the red for an overpopulation, that's that comes out a little in your favor. So maybe Amnikin doesn't like that.
And it would be
But it would.
tempting for me to also grab that other medium too, but or red too.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't know. Let's see what they do. Okay, they did what I
What
was
you
considering
anticipated.
before.
And this is, yeah, I don't think I fully considered or thought through that
Mm-hmm.
early enough. Like when I switched to the yellow, when I look back at the game, I'm very interested on what I would have done had I not switched to the yellow two at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And if that position was already going to put me on the defensive or not. So yeah, what would you do in my place here?
Well,
You know, I can tell you what.
probably.
Yeah.
So possibly move the little green forward for the reasons we discussed.
Hmm.
That it gives you an overpopulation threat. If Amnican captures the red, then you build and overpopulate, and you've come out ahead a piece.
Yeah. He loses
And
it to him,
if
lost small,
yeah,
and we, yeah,
and we both lose
he
your reds. But if he captures your green, then you can just capture it right back, and he's lost his
yeah,
little red. So
yeah.
yeah, I like the pushing the little green forward.
Mhm.
Let's see what you do. And you
That was
like
my
that
thought.
too. Yeah.
Now,
So
I have often considered like what other options I might take here. Obviously, building another red, he'll build a red too at Bleb, and
mm-hmm,
then I'm in danger of falling behind already. Um, and if I move the red away, which is probably what I, I would ponder further. That's my what I've been thinking of looking back at the game, like moving the red away. But I'd have to sacrifice a small yellow. I'm no
mm-hmm,
longer ready to start pushing for yellows. I'd be a step behind. He's got the investment in the green. And this is why I look back like, would it have been better had I gone to the small and let him go to the large and
mm-hmm,
done exactly, tore a page out of his book and did this to them? You know what I mean?
mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know. I'm still not very interested. The way you've talked about it makes me think that maybe this large green star is going to be very important later. Um, but to my mind, the sizes of the stars are not very important just yet. Um, and well, anyway, we'll see what happens. I kind of
Yeah.
want to
Would you?
I want to keep pushing on here. If I'm Amnikin, I I don't like his position all that much. I would consider simply trading my little green for blue as though nothing were going on in Alti at all.
Mhm.
I think I would just leave this be for now until somebody can bring in something more interesting there. I feel like that's a stalemate for the time being. Um, yeah, I think I'd trade small green for blue. Uh, well, they were considering the little red build. Little red build is yeah. Actually, that might be better. So that lets you build the medium, but then he can sacrifice to capture it immediately if he feels like it.
Yeah. And
But
he's up the red too. So that is definitely a
mhm,
good thought.
but the Alti is still poised to explode,
Yeah.
and so I don't feel like anybody should be building
investing
there.
further.
But of course Amnican can blow it up as well. So if he builds Little Red and then you blow it up, no, he
You still up
well,
that
I don't
extra
know. I
red,
don't know.
and
I don't know. Let's just see what happens.
yeah,
Um,
with the second thought. That's
it
the
it has
second thought.
been it has been suggested to me that I go down rabbit holes too readily. I'm
I
trying not to
like the
go.
rabbit hole.
I like the rabbit holes too. Not everybody
I
wants
think
to listen to
it's
the
good.
exact rabbit hole that I happen to pick. Um,
I love to
oh,
hear your rabbit holes because this is
mm-hmm,
why I would want your position is that you're going through all the thought process a player would make,
mm-hmm,
all of the choices what someone would do, and I can see like a good thought process for playing. I think it's a beneficial for players
mm-hmm.
to get better.
Yes. Um, I'll try not to do it too much, but maybe we can do it a little extra in this video. I'm
Okay.
imagining now a thumbnail for this video that's got a Sasquatch in a rabbit hole. Maybe a Sasquatch with rabbit ears. Stevie Sasquatchy, the rabbit hole man.
Yes, I
Okay.
definitely like tangents.
All right. Maybe that's what I'll do. All right. If I was really ambitious, I would edit these videos down to take out some of the boring bits.
I'm sorry if I'm being a
I'm
little
not.
bit too
No,
long-winded and boring.
well, I'm talking about the video process more than I
Okay.
probably should for people's entertainment. Okay. Where are we? So
I enjoy them.
moving the yellow here. Yeah, that's all right. That gets rid of the problem where Amnican couldn't build any more yellow without losing a star.
Yeah. And then if I try to build a yellow, then they can send it in and
Mm-hmm.
catastrophe.
Right. So I think there's a good chance you are going to choose to spread out your yellows now. Um, but you can't move to an unoccupied green star from here. I don't think you want to go to Alti because that's poised to explode. And I don't think you really want to go to Bleb either. Suppose you could move your Y2 to Bleb since it couldn't be captured. Um, and then you could build yellow, but then Amnican can just build yellow and blow up your yellow. So um, that's not very attractive either. I think you probably move out one of your yellows to a blue or red star so that you can continue building yellows in your home. In fact, the large yellows are within striking distance, within green 3 striking distance of being built, so a shopping spree might not be far away. I think you move a yellow to a small star where Amnican can't catastrophe it, even if you end up with 3 yellows in that system soon.
But if I do a shopping spree, I'll be close to max at my two locations. And then
Yes.
he'll have access to build the yellow threes at Bleb.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd probably be pretty, loaded up in the Homeworld of like blue being bluebirded.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you trade. No,
Right.
yeah, you're
But
right. It no,
yeah, I
it's
would
it's
say
it's too it's too
more.
early to it's too early to think about shopping sprees. I'm just looking for something
Right.
to head
Where
for.
I would
You need to get you need a third yellow before that's going to be a good idea. Okay, let's move on. Let's see what you actually do pick. Oh, what happened?
that was my last move.
Uh oh. Uh oh.
Wait, what did we do?
Uh,
Oh no,
I think
G2.
I,
Yeah.
I think we're looking at a broken replay.
You want
It
to
says
do a
it's
refresh
a
on it?
it says build G2,
Yeah,
but it
at
didn't
home
show up.
because the G2s are available. And I'd like to hear your opinion on it. This is nice to see the replays. I like this about Board Game Arena.
Mm-hmm.
That you can
I,
pick a point and watch the play up to that point. Just
yeah.
nice,
Oops.
smooth.
Did I go too far? No, this is okay.
You're good.
I I
You're
I,
good.
I didn't
You
actually
move,
look
and
carefully.
I don't bring you.
Oops.
Oh, wait, now that's too far. Yep.
I'm sorry.
Spoilers.
Well, all right.
Yep. Too far.
Okay, well that's awkward.
Yeah. Spoilers.
No.
That's not. Yeah. That's even further.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll actually
Click
do
it
some
through.
well, and maybe I'll do some editing to get rid of some of this because
Oh, yeah.
um,
So it wouldn't be a spoiler. Yeah, that'd be good.
okay.
Here
And
we're at.
invading.
Yeah. He brings in the yellow. I build a G2. Now, oh, you clicked again. Okay. I
Yeah.
want
Okay.
your
So you were going to quiz me, but I clicked one too many times, and we've seen that Amnikin's gonna sacrifice the G3.
shopping spree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the question. It's like the twos were there. I wanted to get into green twos. I wanted a second green in my next to my large green, so I could shopping spree at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my thought process there. But I did overlook that it opened up the shopping spree for Amnikin.
Okay. So he's doing a factory. I'm thinking he's going to build a G2 here in Alti and G3 back in his home. And I think he picks red for the third build since you're going to be out of red.
I'm gonna be out of red. This is where I made the I think this was my
Yeah.
crucial like point where I've got two mediums
Mm-hmm.
and it's, so but it's not a good trade. Amnikin's playing into his strength, which is to run away at the Reds. So I'm worried about that already.
Yeah.
So even if I trade for a red here now, like I guess I could do a small red, but
Yes.
yeah.
You could. I
But
think
if
you'd be
I'm
better
leaving,
off.
yeah,
I think I would consider trading the medium green for red, since
if
that
so,
doesn't open the mediums for him.
no, not really, but no, but you could send in one small red into my homeworld and threaten
Mm-hmm.
by doing the blowing out the red star. I don't know.
Well, so um, if you trade green 2 for red 2, and if Amnikin sends in a little red, he's trying to slow push a catastrophe on you. You sacrifice your red 2 to capture the little red that's just come in,
And then
and
he builds the red one.
he's forced you to downgrade.
Yeah.
Um, but it could be worse.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, that's my thought. Like if
Mm-hmm.
I trade there, yeah, you're probably right. This is where I've probably been put on tilt a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably don't make the wisest choices at this, point where I'm like, oh, okay, I got that wiped out. I
Mm-hmm.
need.
Another. Well, let's see what other options. You could try to get a jump on the blues. Um, I don't think you've got any sneaky way of taking advantage of the fact that he's only got green at his home.
Yeah,
I think
he can.
a bluebird is too many turns away, and he'd
Yeah,
spot it too easily.
yeah.
And I don't think you can make any simultaneous threats just yet. Okay, well let's see what you pick. Okay, spreading out the greens. Um, no, I don't think that's bad.
But it's not great.
Oh, I think it's all right.
Okay.
It's a fairly early game move. You're all of your ships are in your home. You got to spread them out sometime.
Right?
Um, you're still in danger of getting left behind in the reds.
I am.
But I think pushing your green advantage is not a bad idea here. Amnican can't build a green immediately. They'll have to spread out as well.
Right. Is my
You,
thought.
you you
And
build
with a
small,
little
they build
more green,
medium.
I threaten to keep him from keeping two greens at his homeworld.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let's see how it plays out. Amnican, I think I want to say I spread out the greens. I think I moved the small green to a new, I'm going to say large yellow. Or I spread out the reds to try to make it extra hard for you to ever get red.
Hmm. But in truth,
Okay. Okay. Well, that's another way of spreading out reds, sort of.
sort of,
Um,
yep. And it, yeah, I'm at this point, I am in danger of him watching. He loves to run away with red. He
mm-hmm.
believes in a like he'd rather have a monopoly on red than a monopoly on yellow, which I usually would take the
Mm-hmm.
opposite
Yeah,
tack.
I would take the yellow.
But Amnikin favors dominance in red, so I can already see. I knew this going in too, and it's like, uh-oh, he's already going for the red, and he's going to
Mm-hmm.
get it.
Yeah.
What can I do?
So I think for you, um, I guess I trade the medium yellow for medium red. You don't
But
want to
I
get
don't want to get.
you
I
don't
don't
want
want
to
to lose my chance at
you
getting some dominance.
yeah, but tricky business, tricky business.
And then what? He starts building. All right, I switch it for red. He decides to build a second red somewhere, or like, I mean, right? I mean,
Well, so
it's
so
ultimately
if he
what is
builds, he can build the other medium red at his home. You move your medium red to Samori, so you're now poised to build large red. He can what
so
trade? He can spread out his reds, and then you build a large. What's
maybe or consider. Okay, I build a. I switch to a medium red, my
Yep.
yellow.
Mm-hmm.
So and then he goes shopping sprees. I don't have the two yellow anymore to be able to punish him for it. If he then builds
Mm-hmm.
one medium, two reds, he puts the medium in bled,
Yeah.
puts reds at the homeworld, and he
Mm-hmm.
switches.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Back.
Yeah.
I sacrifice my red to start to try to slow him, but he's already got a dominance. I don't know. It's a tough choice for me because I don't want to get rid of my
Mm-hmm.
yellow too. That's the problem here is
Yeah.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
that is in this short of a
Mm-hmm.
field in a small universe. That's my like keep them from overdoing anything in the home world
Mm-hmm.
or anywhere really. But
Yep.
it's a tough
Well,
choice.
you're in a bad
I'm in a
spot.
pickle. I'm in a pickle already, and that's the difficulty of playing a really strong player.
All right. Well, let's see what you pick here. You trade.
That's prob-
I like.
yeah, it's
I might.
probably a
I
mistake.
I might like that even less than trading the medium yellow away.
And looking back at it, I probably yeah, it's not great. I was thinking I'm on defense. I need to get into the red
Mm-hmm.
before I'm the shutout.
Yeah.
That's my thought. And I made a bad rash move. I should have got more green there before that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I should have got more green on the field somewhere before that happens.
I think so because that you've
Mhm.
the green was the one color where you had ships in two systems and could
Yeah,
really start
yeah.
flying away.
Hmm.
Um, so
So
Amnican now.
I've
Um,
lost the initiative, the Sente,
mm-hmm.
if you will, by now. He's picked up Sente from when he invaded into my my G3 system. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Well,
It's bulky.
Amnikin. So the kind of thing I usually like to try to do is something weird like discover a large red star with a little red ship so that I can sacrifice the green and gobble up all the rest of the reds. But you would try to prevent that, maybe moving one of your yellows to a large red star so that if I do sacrifice my green, I only get one large red back. All the reds are still gone, but at least Amnican hasn't gone up by a large ship. Um, Anything else you want to say about this spot? I,
I
I mean, there
don't
are other good options, of course.
I'm waiting on Anakin's thoughts on this.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what let's see the next move.
Amnican could just build a small green. That's okay too. Even building the medium red, I don't like too much. Well,
I'm
building the medium red isn't so bad. You could build the large red, but you'd have to sacrifice your only large ship to do it, and you don't
and
get any other builds out of it
not
because if you build yellow, you lose, and if you build more red, it gets overpopulated.
so yeah,
So
I'm in a pickle. I think
yeah,
I made a bad move.
I think if I'm Amnican, I might just go ahead and build the medium red. Oh, he's looking at my first suggestion to
Mhm.
discover a large red star with a small red. Okay, well,
Yeah,
I
and
feel
he
more
spread
clever
out
now for agreeing with him.
and he spread out all his reds.
Mm-hmm.
You can anticipate his next move. I'm in a pickle, right? And so I'm looking at, yes, he's going to sacrifice his green three, get the rest of the reds
Mm-hmm.
spread out across the world,
Yeah.
have the dominance in it. I don't have enough build power in red, and I am trailing. And I should have been pushing my yellows earlier rather than trying to catch up at
Mm-hmm.
red.
I so if I'm you, I think definitely my choice is to discover a large red star, just to prevent
The
him from
medium
building
or
it.
small chip? The small yellow or small or the medium yellow?
Um, I want to say small because I like so much to have, but it's not so relevant in the small universe though. I like keeping the medium yellow at home for sacrifices, um, but the medium would be better
In defensive,
for defense. So
right?
yeah, I guess medium yellow to a large red star. That's my call. No, okay, you're taking the small one.
I could have done either. You're right.
Which is fine too. I don't think it makes much difference at the moment. Amnican doesn't actually have a medium ship, though
Right.
they may soon.
They may soon.
Okay, so they go
But I
ahead
was
and
curious to hear your thoughts on that.
yeah, they go ahead and do the build in as much as they can. Yeah, and now they've got a medium ship that they can invade your
Yep.
colony with.
Hmm.
Oh
But
well,
they
they took
seem
it
to
back.
rethink it.
They're reconsidering,
Hmm.
thinking about just doing a vanilla build, which I think is also fine. Still considering a vanilla build, yeah. So here you could, of course, discover the other large red with your medium yellow.
And I'm playing defense here. I'm
Uh
not
huh.
progressing. I'm playing.
Strong, full on defense. Oh,
I'm playing defense. Interesting move, huh?
that's pretty interesting.
So I've
Um,
just invested the red three.
Yeah, not a big fan. I should have. I guess we could
Mhm.
have talked about it a little bit before I actually did that.
Yeah, it's
Um,
okay.
let's see what's not to like here. The main thing usually to not like about leaving your homeworld without a large ship is that your opponent, if they can get a large ship to your home, they usually win. It would take your opponent just 2 turns to get their large ship to your home. So if Amnican
Yeah,
were
not
to move,
not quite a me.
so if Amnican were to move out to their G3 to Bleb or a yellow system of some description, probably a large yellow because they don't want to give you the chance to reinforce with a large green sacrifice. Um, that's actually a pretty interesting blunder here. If you commit to this move, if Amnican were to move to a small yellow system,
Hmm.
trying to attack, you sacrifice the large green to build large red, medium yellow, large yellow, and you're feeling pretty good about life.
It gives me those options.
Uh-huh. Okay, but
And
so
if he
if
decides to, Mhm.
If Amnican is going to try to invade here, they move to, let's say, a large yellow system.
If he does,
You
then I
you've
move in with my green,
mhm.
sacrificing my yellow one at Earwop or Ewrop.
Some of these systems names were picked to be particularly alien, and I think that's one. Um, yep.
So
So
if he moves out,
the counterattack succeeds here because you've got a.
red two.
I wasn't I wasn't done talking through it.
Sorry,
Uh,
sorry, sorry.
still, um,
My bad.
yeah, but let's see. Does it succeed if they just reinforce with one ship? I don't think so. They move out of green 3. You invade. They say move little yellow back to home. You capture 2 ships. They move into
And
your
he gets
home. You
to
capture the
two.
other. Yeah. Okay. So the attack doesn't actually work.
No,
So
him moving
so
out would
that
not be
that's the
acceptable.
yeah. So Amnican isn't going to move out of their home at this point, and so you're having left your homeworld without a large ship is not going to bite you immediately,
Yes.
which is as much as I'll say for it for now. Okay, let's see if you commit to that. You do. All right.
I do.
Amnican,
I'm not saying I'm playing well at this point. This is not
I
my
think,
best game, I should say.
yeah, I think I would have gone with the yellow, even though it puts you in a position where you can't build yellow anymore.
Right. And that's my worry is that then, my sacrifice is useless without more green. And also, I can't even get close to the factory position where I'd get back my
Mm-hmm.
green. It makes it very difficult. I like this because it threatens that I can sacrifice my green to get back that red.
Mm-hmm. Kind of still a tangly position here.
Hmm.
Your
It is.
your position, which is to say, I think that your position is tangled up. Um,
Yeah, I'm not in the
Amnican's
best
doing
of positions.
Amnican's doing pretty good. Okay, let's see.
He's doing fine. Amnikin's he's in the position that he would like to be in.
Yeah, more or less. I think if I'm them, I build a green or trade one of my reds for, oh, let's say yellow. Trade, yeah, I like that actually. Trade medium red for medium yellow. That puts up a threat of immediate invasion that you wouldn't be able to counter the turn after. No, they're building a little green. They're thinking about it. Okay, I trading for green.
Mhm.
Oh, that's interesting.
because they know they can build back the red, and I am kind of in a sticky
Yeah.
wicket about
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah, that's all right. Okay,
Should I
sure.
do at this point? I know I'm not in your preferred wheelhouse here.
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah, resign.
and
Let's
and
see.
this is and if you were to talk about the chat at this point, I at one point, let me see, let me go back to what I said. Um and this is, I can't remember exactly what time this is played. What does the times point say there?
For me, it says 6:53 a.m., but I think that would be
Six.
in my time zone.
Okay. But what day? Like October what?
Oh, um, September 26th.
September 26th. Okay. Well then the conversation hasn't gotten to the point where I openly, mention I should have resigned well by now on
Okay.
a position like this.
Mm-hmm.
But um but I'm like, and I know that they would appreciate me playing through, and they can at least play through their victory or give them a good run for their money as I try to do what I can. I like having a difficult position and seeing what I can do. I enjoy that. So it makes me
Yep.
be creative. And so I thought that last move, moving the green out, was a creative move,
Mm-hmm.
but we shall see if it is still foolhardy.
Yeah, we'll see. I think if I'm you now, I build a little green because there's not much else you can do that's productive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If I'm Amnican, I build a medium red. I think I'd put it in bleb just for a little more security. Oh, okay. That's also good. Yeah, you've got a helpless colony there. The little
Yeah.
red can just run away,
I can,
but
but
that
then he's got
but
an
then
investment.
he's instantly got an investment indeed.
Hmm. So this is not good.
So you sacrifice the little green to build the red. Okay. Yeah, that's not bad actually. Um,
Thank you. I mean, I'm still playing defensive here.
yep, for sure.
I'm figuring
Um,
I can get more yellows by trading that red two to a yellow two if I need to.
yes. Or I would do green because
Yeah.
I think your inability to build more ships is your biggest problem here.
Yeah. Yes. Hmm. And I
So,
think that will become my thought as well. But I'm just looking at just
mhm,
straight numbers here.
yeah,
He's going to take a yellow one. He's going to use
yes,
his move to do that. He could have built a yellow one back at Bleb. I'm not worried. I'm afraid of his use of having that as an investment of a red three.
uh-huh. So one and something I'm considering in an ongoing game right now is that uh, I've got a colony. Well, I'll just talk about this position. You've got a colony where if you run away, then they've got an investment where they very cheerfully sacrifice to build the star. By leaving your ship there to be captured, it takes them an extra turn. It takes them two extra turns to get that investment. They have to capture, move the ship away, and then they can sacrifice to build. Um, and with that time, maybe you can make something happen. Um,
Mhm.
but they also can just cheerfully use Ewerop as a place to build more yellow ships.
Yeah, and I'm in a losing position to capture it.
Yeah,
So there we're at.
they
Or they think about it.
they reconsidered once. I think they'll stick with it. Yeah,
Yeah,
they stick
they're
with
gonna
it.
stick.
For you, I think I would trade a red for green.
Yeah, that's wise. I mean, I'm in a bad position, but I
Oh, for
go for
yellow.
yellow because I am
Interesting.
looking to sacrifice, but get some yellow out of this. I'm trying to get, there's yeah, it's a difficult spot for me. That's probably the bad choice. I probably made a few bad choices here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well,
It's just that
let's see.
the green two, yeah, I don't know. There's not a huge enough build going on, and so it's true. And if I had a green
So,
two there,
well,
I
okay,
wouldn't
okay.
have a lot of red I could build. Yeah,
So, I, I'm coming to like the Y2
yeah,
better than I did initially,
yeah.
because now you've got the option to sacrifice your G3 to build some yellow.
Mm-hmm.
You could build small yellow, large yellow,
Yeah.
reinforcing your home, and you could build the R2 while you're at it, I suppose, but you probably wouldn't want to because the R3
Art.
star is now back in the bank and Amnikin will take it.
Yeah.
But
I
it
think,
gets you closer to building a Y3.
and that's my hope is that I don't want to fall behind in yellow
Mm-hmm.
completely. I want to have some strength in it before they start. If and it also it keeps if they build the Y1 at Bleb or
Mm-hmm.
Irwa, then my shopping spree is very productive.
Yeah,
I mean, they could
you'd get.
sacrifice, but all they would be, yeah. And I can option to, take two large yellows and a red. I can,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot going on. So
Yeah. So from here, though, I think I would for Amnikin sacrifice the G2
for yellows,
to to
you know,
build two yellows. The positions don't seem to matter very much because that way, if you do build a yellow at home, then they overpopulate and win immediately. And if you don't, then you haven't got a large at your home unless you sacrifice a yellow to bring your G3
yeah,
back home. So that's pretty
I'm
brutal.
definitely not the ideal position.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, well, that's interesting. I don't think that works out, though. They
Mhm.
can't. They can't just
They're
push.
threat, yeah,
Yeah,
they're
if they.
threatening to overpopulate by building with the
Mm-hmm.
G2.
Yes. So you've got to capture, or I suppose you could technically trade your Y2 for another color. And in fact, that might be the better option.
Probably what I should do. That's
Well,
probably
no, no, because then they sacrifice the G2 to build.
the large. That's the big issue here.
Mhm,
They're going to get a large
they
home,
get a large in your home and you don't have one, so you're in
and
big
they will
trouble
be
there.
there to capture before I get a large in there.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay.
So that
Well,
is the big issue. I think this is a very good move on Amnikin's part.
and it frees up their investments.
I think that's a very, it's more creative than
It's a
some
good
of.
move. It's a good move. Um, so capture or trade? I think you've got to capture. Yep. And now I think they sacrifice the G2 to build the R2 and the
And the red.
star.
Yeah, that's what they
Okay.
are going to do. So I've only had one red. I'm only going to get one red
Oh,
unless, well,
they're they're
no, the
double guess, second guessing
yeah.
themselves. Okay. That all works about the same, I think.
Now I can't
Mm-hmm.
I can't do what I want to do, which is bluebird myself, right? But
Uh-huh.
I can get the red, sacrifice green, but but the problem is they're gonna move in a 3 into my home world the
Yep.
next turn. That's their, Amnikin's gonna move in. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna make, my house their house. So What do I do?
Um, let's see.
Also,
What
there's
options do you? I'm trying to see if you've got any option besides moving your green three back home with.
right by
I think I'd
sacrifice,
pick a small yellow sacrifice. Um,
mhm,
I.
which opens up a red three for Amnikin. They're also
Mm-hmm.
threatening to move in from Bleb to Samori with their R3 to pick off my
Mm-hmm.
goodies. There's so much going on here.
I think. Well, to you can prevent them from being able to build the star by, say, sacrificing a medium yellow to move your green home and simultaneously moving one of these guys to discover
Yeah.
the red three. Um,
But as
some.
I am playing defensive and just losing pieces,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah,
my
you're burning your very few resources to do so.
yeah.
You're looking at sacrificing the Y1. Yeah,
I
so
do.
you
They
just
get,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you needs must.
Yeah. It's difficult because I have to have big and ending up with see the difference in the position would be yes, I'd have a small piece at a large red, star. I would
Mm-hmm.
have instead of a medium, I'd have a small yellow there. And then of course, they're going to just push in um with the red 3 and what do I do then? Right? I'm going to lose it, anyway to
Mm-hmm.
my little yellow 1. So I'm in a pickle. This is what I ended up saying I'm going to have to just keep what I've got at least and try to go with it. It's
Yeah,
tough.
so they can either invade Samori with the R3 or they can build the R3 back at home. I would build
Yeah.
because I'm I'm the passive type.
Yeah. I think it's the wise
Yeah.
choice. It's,
Mm-hmm.
they've got an advantage. The only place that I can really catastrophe here is at Dioge.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even do that without
That's
sacrificing to get over there.
yeah,
I mean,
that's not worth it.
ultimately, I'm just happy to Gilligan as much of their pieces as possible, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what but yeah,
Yeah, let's see. So now,
it's in the position Amkin likes a dog in red.
do you build yellow or green? Or is it even worth it to sacrifice G3 to build, say, two
Right.
yellows in Samori and one back home? Um, they'd build the Y3, but then you could overpopulate it if you felt like, or they could overpopulate yours after you do that in Samori.
Mhm. But then there'll be a lot of yellow.
I think you probably just build a little yellow or or green. I don't think it's going to make a big difference because you're going to lose, boy. Sure.
Ultimately, my move is keeping them from going, yeah, too much. Well, yeah, it's what it is. I chose it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in a great position. If I slow play, they've got a dominance. I'm looking to try to get at least back into some yellow dominance if they have to
Mm-hmm.
either catastrophe it or let me spread out or
Right.
start building some of the yellows, which I can then
Mm-hmm.
contest them. So yeah,
Yep. Um, so if I'm Amnikin, the obvious thing to do is build the Y3, which is not that bad. You can overpopulate it, but it costs you almost everything you've got.
it does, but I do keep them. I Gilligan their reds, and for
Mm-hmm.
me, that's worth it at this point. Keeping them off of blue as much as possible, and if they
Mm,
build more red at home, like I'm just, I, yeah, I'm seeing what I can do. I'm definitely a little bit
mm-hmm.
tilted. I'm a little bit
Yeah.
trying. can. I'm trying to be creative.
Right.
I'm trying to get my best move out there. And when I
Yeah.
work through all the other ones, they don't seem very strong either. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see what they pick. Considering the large yellow build, but also considering other things. Okay, they're looking at the invasion. Um, yep, I like the invasion just fine. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah,
okay,
three excellent options they've got.
yeah,
I think they should have done the Y3 build. Um,
probably enforced
because
me.
then and forced you to do the
Right.
overpopulation if you were going to save the turn.
And that's what they're
And
thinking.
they're coming back around to the first option. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can almost see
Forced
the
me.
you can almost see the wheels turning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because then
So
it's
I think
their
they
move.
tried out their best few options
Right.
there.
Yeah. And they went back to this.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that's my move.
Yeah. So if you wanted to be a little spiteful, you should be able to get their yellow star if you felt like it.
Mm-hmm.
You move in one yellow now. Whether they capture it or not, you can move in the other two with a
Yeah.
sacrifice. And about this point in the game is where I would be looking to do anything I can to make it look
Yeah.
like I have achieved something.
Mm.
um, so my prediction is that you're going to go after their yellow star. Oh, interesting.
In a way,
Okay, spreading out your yellows gives you a chance to build. Yeah, that's interesting. Um, I don't. It's not gonna last very long. I don't think. I think what they do then is they move their Y3 to your home. You capture it or you'll lose.
hmm, but is
Oh
that
no,
strong enough?
they don't have enough. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm hallucinating. There's too much yellow on the board. They don't have enough yellow to
Yeah.
actually fleet catastrophe you. Okay, so that's not
But
quite
what do you
such a
think
threat.
about my move, though? I mean, like, ultimately,
Um,
it's not, I don't have an
you're
ideal
you're
position. I'm
you're
making
threat.
some weird moves.
Hmm. You're threatening an overpopulation here.
Instead of sacrificing the yellow two and doing it immediately, it's their turn.
Hmm.
I've spread out a bit so I can grow here at Gambit some yellow, right?
Yep.
And I'm forcing them to come to the terms that I am going to destroy their yellow to bleb, right? If they capture it, then I can move in one from Samori. If they don't capture it, I can grow another one there and destroy them. Or they move out, in which case I can start growing and yeah, we'll see.
Um, it it's a half measure.
Mm-hmm.
It accomplishes half of two things, but I don't think it does either of them
Okay.
quite completely. Um, I think they move their little yellow out, or the for that matter, move out the Y3. You can move the Y3 to Samori. Um, or to a green system preparing to build. Um, they I think they can afford to lose a large ship more than you can afford to lose a small, practically.
That's true.
I don't think that there is a bad response to this.
What a great
There's
commentary on my
there's I think there's so even if Amnikin completely ignores this,
Yeah.
and you build a yellow for
Mhm.
the overpopulation. They're doing just fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That,
It's hard to it
which
can be hard
then
to
brings us
split hairs on a lost game and
right.
say what's the best way to lose here.
So
Um,
if they did nothing and I just moved in from Simori to
mhm.
Bleb, right? Same thing, right? The
Yeah,
only
and
difference is this.
you will have lost the same amount of material as if you had catastrophe to begin with, but you
Yeah,
will have a medium yellow in Gabbert
in
instead of your
Simori.
home,
Or
or in
or
Samori, depending on which one you
Simori.
had sacrificed.
Yes, true. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Um,
But I don't.
and the question is this, I mean, was it worth me to sacrifice to stop them? I mean, yes, I have not had the greatest position to play the best of moves, and I probably didn't play the best of moves in each of these situations. But would it have been better to have sacrificed the yellow two, thrown away the yellow two and the two ones to stop the yellow three and yellow one at Bleb when they have three? They'll have three larges. I'll have one large and just a red and like a red two and a yellow one. I I'm trying to like play it out a little bit differently.
I
So
yeah, I think you should have. I think you should have blown it up when you had the chance.
okay,
Or I think you should have gone for the beautiful corpse maneuver of destroying their yellow star so that you have something to show for yourself for the game. Because as it is, I don't think I think they should not let you destroy their Y3.
okay.
Yeah, and they're okay. Oh, really? Uh, really? Oh, that's not something I would have expected. In fact, I don't even like it. I think they
Anakin
should.
likes to think on the board though.
I think they should take that back. Yeah.
But it's good to see their thought process.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but they are quite correct that they've okay. I was not looking
Hmm.
um at the direct assault possibilities here.
Yeah,
Amnikin could move two larges into your home.
that's the
You
idea.
you could capture them both,
Mhm.
and then it's come to nothing. But if those two larges are both red, then they will be able to move in one more something and blow up your red star. That is giving up their red domination to a large extent.
They want to move in with
So
enough to just capture.
uh
If
huh.
they just want to
I don't, I don't think,
dominate,
I don't think they can just yet.
they
They,
can't.
they can only
Yeah,
move in two larges at this point, and you would be able to capture both.
right.
And then,
And I'm trying to stymie their movement ability so that they can't
mhm.
do that. That's my hopes, but I'm trying to do this with not
Yeah,
losing all my yellow in the
hmm
same process.
yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, the it's not go time just yet for Amnikin.
Yeah.
They need a more passive move. Just move that Y3 away so it doesn't get blown up. Okay,
They're,
they were looking
they're
at
looking at
something fleet
forcing my move.
catastrophe-ish.
Hmm.
That's okay. So that's an interesting choice. Um,
Yeah.
so an interesting possibility: sacrifice the Y3 to move in a yellow and a red. Uh, the little yellow. If they did two reds, I don't think any of it quite works out though. Nope.
And they're just hoping to grow and destroy at my home world,
Mm-hmm.
like, and forcing me between, do a Sophie's choice here. I have to pick between, I have to capture at home or lose, and I have to give up like something at Simori. That's what they're
Mm-hmm.
hoping to do.
Yeah.
That's what they're playing at.
Yeah, and I don't think any of this is quite going to work, which is why they're fiddling around looking for
Yeah,
a
a
solution.
lot of
So just now that was an interesting thought to terraform a Y1 and break up these reds. Don't like it though. Okay, yeah, I think just moving the Y3 away to Gabbard is fine. Samori would be fine. Just somewhere other than Bleb. Or even just sacrificing the little yellow to get it out of there is fine. Okay, sure. Why not?
why not? That's where they settle after
Mm-hmm.
all of those thoughts, and I'm like, yes, I see all this. I see where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, I think that's they're still on a winning path, but I think that was not the best thing they could have done. Um,
and I'm happy to
if you
reduce the amount of yellow they have. I'm happy to do that.
well, see, yeah. So if you build, so the reason I don't like that move of theirs just now, if you build the little yellow in,
There, or would I do it? Yeah,
do it in Bleb,
in Bleb.
they can't build the Y3, and
Hmm.
unless they do something, you build the Y3.
That's my hopes.
So I feel like they've set you up to have more threats, threats they can respond to still, but
Yeah,
they're giving you some initiative. Yeah. So you build the little
yeah.
yellow, and they still need to move away that Y3 that they didn't do last time, and I thought they should. Um, yeah, I think that would be fine. Trade the R3 for it. That's fine because you can't build the R3. Yeah, okay, I think that's a good move. Um, and maybe you'll get around to catastropheing that Y3 now. Let's
Or
see, what did you do? Sacrifice the Y2, or you can blow up their star. Okay. Yeah, you've so now it looks like you've had something to show for yourself.
yeah. Now I
And
know I'm not in a winning position,
mm-hmm.
but
Yes,
my
yes.
hopes, yeah, are getting a little slimmer on a possible victory.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a more or less a cleanup operation from here.
It is. And it's just like if they're sloppy enough,
Mm-hmm.
and this is probably not the right move. I don't know if I rethink this. Um,
Nope.
I don't know
So
why I did
you've
that.
you've stranded your only red
I don't know why I did
in
that.
in
But oh, I know because yes, no, that was bad move of mine. And I did it. Um, I believe my thoughts here is to keep away from their mobile attackers that
mm-hmm.
can attack me. The larges. The
Yeah,
larges are going to come in to get my red.
right.
So I'm moving to a small star, and if
Mm-hmm.
they and I do this for another reason because now that they've got all this, the next move for Emnikin is to then trade a red three for a yellow three, a green three, a blue three, whatever they want, and then build back that red three at their homeworld. I need to stop that from happening.
Mm-hmm.
I need to keep them from trading away that red three at the homeworld
Uh-huh.
so I can pick it up if they dare, right? Because right
Yep.
now they can
Yep.
keep swapping it and building and swapping and getting
Mm-hmm.
everything forward.
I call
And
that
that
milking the cow.
absolutely. And I have to stop that. So that was why I did this move.
Yep. That that makes sense as far as it goes.
And
Um,
I believe I
the
picked the green one. So if for whatever reason I can move into the other homeworld as well from that location if I'm building stuff there, if I get to build yellow there at some point.
mhm.
So it's yeah,
it
it cannot be
it keeps
invaded from both of Bleb.
it keeps you farther from these guys.
Yes, and that
It will take them 2 turns to come and capture you rather than one.
absolutely.
Yep.
So That was my
It's
thoughts here. I mean, I'm not saying
that's
I have a
a
lot of options,
that's a
but I think,
it's a good thought. It's a
yeah,
good thought.
I think it's necessary.
It is an instructive thought.
Yeah, I think it was necessary, or else he
Hmm.
would just run away. I could see very good moves that Amnikin could do, and I need to head them off as best I can with three ships, one of each size,
Hmm.
none of them green. Such is the
Yep.
life.
It's looks like trouble. Okay,
Yes.
Amnikin. If I'm Amnikin, I'm moving my R3 to Hutronox or to a new yellow system so that I can come to Ipru and take your only red. Yeah, they're okay. Building the green.
And like,
Sure. Why not see if you can get all of the pieces?
I mean, they've got all of the reds except
Mm-hmm.
for the one I've got like a
Yep.
stranglehold. Like, I gotta keep this or I'm dead. Um,
Yep. Well, trade your Y3 for G3, I
got to,
guess.
got to, or build
No.
a yellow there.
Okay. Well, you can try.
You can try.
I have noticed in some players, I'm not saying Amnikin is experiencing this, I have noticed in other players and in myself a reluctance to spend 2 turns to invade a
Yeah,
helpless colony.
yeah.
If Ipru were connected to Bleb, they'd move in immediately. But
And I think this last move of mine was a bit weak. But I also anticipate I need to protect that red.
mhm,
And they would take those 2 turns to get there and be able to capture it. If I have a yellow there, I can send it out. Right
yep,
now, I'm
it's
trying to
true.
protect them
You
building
can
like trading the red,
you
and
can
then I can build it.
you can play some keep away.
Yeah, yeah. It's not great.
Yeah. Okay. Well, looks like they're thinking about getting some yellow of their own or
They're gonna think about
sacrificing.
that complete invasion if they can, pull it
Okay,
off, like
they're
trying to
thinking about it
destroy that red.
invading all of your systems at once.
That's their thought.
Uh-huh.
They like to play on the board, like to play out their thoughts.
Yeah. And actually, I almost really like that.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's tipping. It's showing your hand though.
mhm.
I mean, your
Well,
hand's not very opaque anyway, but it shows the thoughts they're thinking about, right?
yes.
I try not to
But,
do as much of it, even though I have a lot of thoughts going on
mhm.
behind this.
Okay.
I don't want
Well,
them to know my plans.
so looking at a Y3 sacrifice, invading Ipru. Oh no, sending that to your home and invading Ipru.
Don't think
No,
it's worth it. Yeah,
that doesn't quite work. I don't think.
yeah. I'd be
Yeah.
that.
So this
Like, I
does.
want a green in my homeworld. Thank you. Please.
Right. Right. I don't think they should do that.
No.
This does show off something that I think people could be better at, which is anytime, well, really all of the time, you should be playing out scenarios like this. You should be thinking to yourself, what would happen if I
Yeah,
tried to throw everything at their homeworld right now? Is there some combination of things I could do that would win? And you should be thinking about the opposite. You should be thinking, what happens if they throw everything they've got at me right now?
absolutely.
What do I need to defend, or what what thing do I need to rearrange before my invasion could succeed? I don't think Amnikin has any successful invasion right now, but
No,
they're showing us the some of the things they're considering.
they are
I just don't
chomping at the bit.
I just don't think any of them are going to work.
No, I don't think so either.
Okay, trading for a little yellow. I think that's best out of those. Although honestly, I think they should just be moving these mobile large ships to get into positions where, well, I guess trading for a yellow here at home does accomplishes the same thing. Amnikin can now move, say
A large.
the red three into
Mhm.
your colony, and you get the
I know.
green. Okay,
You want to know my thinking about this, I can tell you.
sure.
So yes, I know that I've. But here, I want to hear what you have to criticize me on this first. Go ahead. I need to
Well,
get back into some growing.
uh-huh.
So
Well,
the only the
it,
only way I'm gonna win
this
is
is really a matter of how long can you make the game last. The loser's hope is that the game will last as long as possible, just to delay their death. And I think you might delay longer by splitting up these two ships, splitting up the ships in your colony. Say, move the red to a yellow system where it can continue to run away
until
endlessly
all
ish.
yeah.
Uh, and your yellow that's all alone, of course, can run away anytime it feels like. Um, so I think that is the more game prolonging thing you could do. Because I think
I'll tell you
they should
what
just invade, and you will either have to sacrifice or they will capture a ship.
I've at this point, told them yes, the right thing, the honorable thing to do would to be have resigned at this point. But I think we should, like it's a tournament, you play it out, let them have their victory. That's fine. Also, my hopes is that if I can build um a blue that I can just pop if I can get it into the home world, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing, if I can grow if I can get a green two and a blue in a location, right? And trade that green back for a yellow. What I can do is then I can at one turn trade or like sacrifice my green two to get a full set of three blues. As long as I have an extra ship in my homeworld, I can sacrifice the yellow to get it in and destroy them. That's my hope. Is this that's my sneak. If but I don't have enough turns to do it, I don't think.
Yeah, that's
That's my hope.
uh-huh.
Mhm.
I think that that's pretty optimistic.
It is very optimistic, but that's
I
my glimmer
I
of is
I
there a
pred-
way to
I
still win?
predict I predict that you will never have two blue ships. I'm gonna predict that right now.
I think I think you are you I'll let you go with that. Yeah.
Okay,
I
we'll
won't I
we'll
won't
see.
do that.
All right, so you're trading for green. I think they should invade
That's
Itbrew.
very helpful. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they're
yeah,
invading, and you can either sacrifice your little yellow or lose a ship.
should I
You,
sacrifice it or should I not sacrifice it? That's the question.
mhm, you sacrifice it. Um, yes, you should. I
Yeah.
think you might lose ever so slightly slower this way.
And yeah, less yellow in their hand.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see what they get up
It's at
to.
this point, I think, that they say that R2 is the only thing keeping you alive. At least now he'll be stuck on yellow stars. I either need one more large chip or remove yellow from the bank.
Mm-hmm.
In the chat, it's like, yeah, no, I know. It's not gonna go well. So
Interesting.
he's trying to remove yellow from the bank. Keep me from being able to run. He wants to hunt down that red
Mm-hmm.
too.
Yeah. Or
And
so another thing they could do is just build up ships of the remaining colors so that no matter what you trade your one ship at home for, they can catastrophe you. I think that
right.
might be more efficient. But
They're
yeah,
opening up the red.
taking away the stars for your ship to run to is also an interesting thing to do. Um,
Gotta
okay,
build.
you build.
I mean, trading wouldn't help me, you know.
No, no, I agree. I think that's
I'm
the only
building
thing you
a,
can do.
yeah,
Yeah,
and they
they
get
take the
their
large red.
at least their Gilligans, you know.
Mm-hmm. And you
Now I
trade for
trade.
the yellow. Yeah, and you can.
This is my hope. I get that green.
Mm-hmm.
I get that green too. I get a blue. I get a blue that
Mm-hmm.
I can sacrifice if I can get those moves. But I mean, there's a wave of red coming at me.
Mm-hmm.
So what do I do? Right. That's my hope.
Yep. Um, let's see. So I feel like the obvious thing is to build the G2, but
Yeah, I
wouldn't hurt
just
to, So another thing they can do is just if they discover um, the Y3 star,
mhm,
then your red
to has
to
to jump between ones and
when
and
you
two.
invade, it'll have to go to a one. You'll have to go to a one, and then if they cover the medium with
Yeah,
another large, then you'll have nowhere to run when they invade again.
yeah.
Okay, so another way. Okay, so rather than discovering it as a star, they trade for it. That's okay. Although, I mean, it is fewer places to build. I never like to trade
No,
away the last ship of a color I have at a system.
they are looking to do the invasion and just send it all in. That's what's
Mm-hmm.
happening. Their Bleb and Epru is all on my
Mm-hmm.
doorstep. I have four, three, like 3 pip ships
Mm-hmm.
on my doorstep, right?
Yeah,
And like 75% of it's red there. So
I don't
I'm
think
just,
anybody has produced a blue ship in this entire game yet.
I'm trying. I'm trying to get there.
Yeah, you're. Well, we'll see. See if you make it.
Yeah, right?
All right, Amnikin's turn. Oh, they're going for it. I
Boom.
is it really go time? Oh, I guess it is. Yeah, because they can bring in three, and you can only take two, and then they've got plenty of red to counter.
Yes,
Okay.
I will
Yeah.
not get that blue ship I want right now.
Mm-hmm.
I have to
Okay. So
sacrifice,
they sacrifice to capture.
sacrifice right back.
They take out. They bring
And
three. And I bet that you trade
green
your green three for you trade
tree
bet you
for
trade your
red.
green for red, so that you can catastrophe some of those
Oh no.
invaders.
With my last
Yes.
breath, I
Uh huh.
spit at
You do indeed. You do indeed.
and sacrifice. Boom. And it's
And
over.
that's it.
It all went out of control pretty quick,
Mm-hmm.
and I was looking for slim like sidelines, Hail Marys, just
Mm-hmm.
throwing it where I can. But yeah, it got out of control. And it got out of control like pretty early on where they had the upper hand. I had the
Mm-hmm.
first move. I seemed to have good positions, but when he made that green two already to get my red, he was already on his way to get all red. This is
Mm-hmm.
Amnikin's great strength, though. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose a round in the tournament. What I'm gonna do?
Possibly. So the tournament is interesting. There are 6 rounds in the tournament,
Yeah.
but um, there are there aren't
Yeah.
we don't have more than 32 players. So it could be that the winner or winners of the tournament will have lost a game.
Mm-hmm. Possible.
So you could still come in first place with 5 points.
I, okay, we'll see.
It's possible.
There's
We
a
we
there's a large bank of very good players still going, and we shall see. Yeah,
mhm.
it's possible.
Yeah. All right. Well,
You Babylon.
thank thank you for joining me. Thank you everybody for watching, and I would
Hope you
I
enjoyed
think
seeing my.
it would be fun to do joint commentaries again in the future. And I guess that's all I've got to say for now. I'm going to stop the recording.
Okay.